guys, I'm really sorry that I haven't been around in so long. And I feel like I'm starting every video by saying I'm sorry, but some of you may know just a lot of stuff happened over the last while and I haven't had time to read or do reviews or do anything, and I am sorry about that. After all my planning, October was a bit of a washout and I didn't get to read pretty much most of the books that I wanted to read. So yeah, I'm really sorry about that. But in the spirit of Halloween, happy Halloween! And I wanted to do a video, but I didn't know what to do, so I'm going to do some book recommendations, just a wide variety of ones that you could read for Halloween if you're in the mood for it, and different types of horrors and thrillers and just vampire werewolf books, and a few films at the end. So let's get to it. Let's get to my magic cauldron of books. Woo! Yeah, that was kind of cheesy, but hey, it's Halloween, we have to mess. I'm gonna start off by the usual bit of vampire, because we all love a bit of vampire book. I've just picked two series that I like. They're not scary or anything, like I said, they're just centered around the vampire series. And don't worry, there is no Twilight here. The Night World series by L.J. Smith, and she wrote the Vampire Diaries as well, so if you've read those, I haven't actually got the Vampire Diaries here, but I really like the series. They're really quite short books. These are bind-ups that I have. I have 3 bind-ups. This is Volume 1, which has Secret Vampire, Daughter of Darkness and Enchantress. And then the second one is Dark Angel, The Chosen and Soulmate. That's the second one. And then the final one, which is the biggest one, is Huntress, Black Dawn and Witchlight. And there's a mixture of stories in the Night World series. They're quite short, and that's why I preferred the bind-ups, because I could just go on to the next story again because I flew through them. There's witches, there's vampires, there's werewolves all throughout the story, so you've got everything. Kind of like if you watch the Vampire Diaries TV series, then like, you know how there's werewolf vampires and witches in those series as well, or if you've read the books. Like I said, you've got everything. You've got a bit of vampire, you've got a bit of werewolf and a bit of witches, so it's a good read. Then my next vampire series is The House of Night, and I think loads of people have read and know about these books. And I have all the series, but I didn't bring them all down. These are just the first 3, just so you can see. Mark, Betrayed and Chosen. I think they're the first 3 in the series, and that it focuses on Zoe is the main character, and she's marked in the first book, and she moves into the House of Night, which is a school for vampires when they're transitioning to becoming a vampire. I will say about this series though, I was not overly impressed with the first book, and there was something about it that I was like, well, I want to keep reading. Do keep reading. It does get a lot better, and I think, what are we on, like the 8th or 9th book? It does get a lot better. I really enjoyed it, but I was not overly impressed by the first book. But what I will say is keep going after the first one and stick with it. If you don't like it after, say, the first 3, then you're more than likely you're not going to like it, but don't let the first one ruin the whole series for you. Just keep going. I'm a big fan of Kathy Reichs, so I have her in here as well, and this is Death du Jour, and she's Déja dead. She is a forensic anthropologist, if you've ever watched the series Bones, it's based on these books. It takes off from where Grave Secrets, the book, ends. That's where the very first series of the TV series takes off. So yeah, that's based on that. It's about forensic anthropologists, and you know, it's usually killers, thrillers, and you know, trying to work out who killed the person by analysing bones. So I mean, I really like that series, and I have pretty much all of Kathy Reichs' books. But I mean, it's up to you. I'm just giving other options. You don't need to read the vampire book. This is Death du Jour, and that is Crossbones I have at the back of my cauldron. If you want like a grossed out book, I reviewed this already. It's Haunted by Chuck Palahnuik. He also has like really other great books like Choke, but if you just want to gross out, this Haunted I would say would be the one to go for, and a review of that, so check out that video. And then we have the master of horror and thrillers, which is Stephen King. And in my last book haul I had a few Stephen King books, so if you want to check that out as well. But in my cauldron again, that is in the front, is The Girl Who Loved Robert Gordon. I think that is that book that I have put in there. Then we have Firestarter, which is more of a thriller than a horror, even though Stephen King is really associated with horror books. But this is actually really good. If you want a review of that, I would totally do that because I've read it already and I loved it. Salem's Lot, vampires, so we're still keeping with the vampire theme with horrors and stuff, so we're not completely leaving the Halloween theme. And then we have Dance Macabre, which is actually kind of like Stephen King's autobiography and how he got into the horror genre and stuff like that. So that's interesting. If you're a Stephen King fan, I would say read that. That's good. The other ones I brought down are more psychological thrillers, which are by Jonathan Kellerman. I just brought down two to show you. I have a good few more of Jonathan Kellerman's books, and they're based on kind of the main character throughout, well, the ones I have, he's written other ones, but the main character throughout the Jonathan Kellerman books that I have is Alex Delaware, who is a psychologist, and yeah, he basically deals with talking to people who've been through like murders. He's a child psychologist, not a clinical psychologist, but in saying that, he has dealt with adults as well in some of his books, so that is why I got confused. That is When the Bough Breaks, and then I have Dr. Death over here, and then there's Bad Love and a few more. So they're more thrillers and they're usually dealing with like serial killers and stuff like that. The other book which was in my cauldron, which is now falling over because I had to pull it out, is American Psycho. And if you've seen the film, I will do a review of this as well if you want it. If you've seen the film, then you will know kind of what you're in for, but the book is way more gruesome than the film, and just think of the film but like double it by 10. If you've seen the film, he details every little thing he does. If you didn't like that aspect of the film, you more than likely will find this a tough slog because it goes into even more and more detail. I mean, there's like pages of him just getting up and like his morning routine. If you want a full review of it, then just let me know. But just if you want like a different sort of horror book or something like that, horror, thriller, psychological sort of book, then American Psycho is the one for you. I'm just warning you, it is quite graphic. But hey, if you like that book, then you should try this. So yeah, that is pretty much all of the books that I brought down. I hope I gave you kind of a flavour of like a bit of, you can do the vampire and werewolf and witch thing at Halloween, but you can also do some horrors and some thrillers. Jonathan Kellerman, a bit of Kathy Reichs. You do a bit of Chuck Palahnuik, a bit of Stephen King. I mean, just jump out of the box. Then obviously, like I said, you have your vampire books and your witch and werewolf ones. Films for Halloween, I don't care how childish it is, I will watch Hocus Pocus. I watch it every year. I will cry if my local TV station does not show Hocus Pocus, because I don't care if it's a kids film. Hocus Pocus is my Halloween film, and I know so many people who Hocus Pocus is their Halloween film, and I love it. Thank you terribly much for watching, and hopefully I will be more regular with my videos again. Everything has started to settle down and I will be back. I hope you have a really good Halloween. I hope you like dress up and go somewhere and have fun, or even just make a fun Halloween video if you don't want to go anywhere. But this wasn't terribly fun, but I like my background accents. So yeah, so I hope you're really good. I'm really glad that I'm back and can start doing videos again, and I hope you liked the book suggestions. Just a bit of different choices for you for your horror or thriller reading. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go. I'm rambling far too much, but happy Halloween, and bye. I guess I'll see you in my next video. Bye.